Well, today is blackberry planting day, hopefully. And the other day I came over and we put cardboard down and then put the berries on top to try to flatten some and kill some of the creeping Charlie that's here. And apparently the windstorm blew away this huge piece of cardboard, so that didn't work on that section. But I'm going to get some measurements going and then plant the blackberries, hopefully get this done today. I do not think we'll be getting the mulch in today. We have plans later, so this will just be part one. Alrighty, so what I've decided to do is to put these blackberry bushes, the Cado and the Sweetie Pies, 18 inches from the edge of this bank here, and then I'm going to dig the hole, and then the hole is larger obviously than it needs to be, but that's what you are supposed to do. Then I'm taking off the sod, dropping it on the hillside. I put in maybe a gallon, 2 gallons of peat, because blackberries like acidic soil, and we have, as you can see, Pennsylvania clay. And then I'm going to put in a gallon of the perlite, and then I used my quart container, and I used a half a quart of holly-tone, and I forgot to get the azomite, so now I've got to run back up to the greenhouse and grab the azomite. And normally it's just a couple tablespoons of azomite, so I just put in a handful or sprinkle it in, and then so that's how I'm planting those. Now obviously you don't just put it in there, because I put in peat at the bottom and then clay, and then you just got to mix that around. Although I said a couple tablespoons of azomite, I actually just take the lid off of the container. I showed you before how I save these spice containers and make a paper label and cover it with clear tape, 2-inch tape. I probably just maybe put a 1/4 cup on. I don't know. I just eye it. The azomite, I don't think you can use too much. The plant's only going to take up the minerals that it can use. Alrighty, 1 down, 11, 9, 11 to go. I probably won't get these done today. We have other plans. I'll work on it though. Well, our other evening plans got canceled, so we were able to plant 6 of the Cado blueberries. And then when we started on the Sweetie Pie, we got 1 in the ground and it was sprinkling, and now it's just a steady, fast sprinkle. So I'm just going to pick up some things and go hide somewhere until it stops, if it stops. Otherwise, I'll be headed out of here. Well, I thought I would let you watch me, or as much as I can do this at the same time I hold the camera, plant the last of 12 blackberries in this little blackberry patch. It still looks like kind of crappy because you can see the cardboard, you can see all the plastic. The plastic's going to be gone. I only use it because it's free, and I recycle it, and then I, well, throw it away. My recyclers at home will not take, even though that's like a number 2 tote, they won't take it. It has to be household food related recycling items, which is really weird, but it is how they do it. So anyway, on these last 2 blackberries, this is the Sweetie Pie row, that's the Cado row. I actually started doing it a little bit different. With all of them, I measured them, cut, measured again, cut, dug. And then with these ones, I actually measured, put the pot upside down in the center, like that, and then evenly went around the outside with the shovel to just, like, you know, spear the area. And then I was able to just flip that over and then take it apart a lot easier. And then I emptied all of the clay out of the hole, tossed in some peat, half the food, and then the azomite, and then half of the perlite mixed that in with clay that I dug again from the bottom just to make the hole deeper and nicer at the bottom. And then put in some more clay, mix that together, and then put the rest of the mix in, mixed it around really well, and then took the mix out in these containers here. And then the next thing is to just put the last berry right in the center of the hole. So because these were watered very well, and actually one thing that I do like to do with things that I'm going to be planting is I will put them in a tote like that, and then I'll put like 2 inches of water in the bottom of that tote. That way they absorb all that water. It doesn't just run straight through the top, and it's a time saver to do that. So I'm just going to be able to pull this right out, and that's what we got. These white roots on here are more just fresh roots, and that's from all the additional water. But these, they're nice roots, but see, then I'll do this. Now, obviously, Lowe's doesn't grow theirs organically, because I doubt very much if these little green timed release fertilizer dots are organic. So that little bit of stuff that comes off the bottom, I just mix there, kind of flatten the bottom. I put it in line there, and even though, and then I see this, I don't want this long piece here growing out. I want it growing in towards the center. That can also be trained if we decide to put a trellis up here. I'm not real sure what we're going to do when we put a trellis. Invested a lot of time and effort and money into putting up a beautiful trellis system. The berries just didn't like where we had them, so I never used the trellis. So this time I do believe I will wait to see if the berries like the spot before we take the time to put in a trellis. And even though the hole is in a perfect spot, I still remeasure, and I'm measuring from the edge of that bamboo post on that blackberry and then over to this one, so you can see that it's just a couple inches off, which really wouldn't matter a lot. But since I can fix it and make it better, why not? Now we just want to make sure we're 3 feet from the other side. And so I see that I'm maybe 2 inches off, so I'll just take some dirt away from here to make this so it slides over easily. And it's on 36 inches away. So normally, since blackberries grow 4 feet, the spread on the tag tells you that they grow 4 feet apart. So you would normally want to put them, they grow 4 to 6 feet wide. Well, you know, I put them 3 feet apart because I'm just not sure how well they're going to do, and they are a little close together. I usually try to allow for a little bit of death. Now, if they don't die, that's great. I can just, and if they get way too big, I can either prune them back, but I would be more likely to wait until next fall and maybe take out every other one and then just extend the row. But blackberries should be sending up and rerooting a lot on their own. So I just kind of want a little naturalized patch here, so it would be okay if they took over. We generally would want to keep at least a center row, and a place to pick from both sides was important to my husband. So these are 6 feet apart. So while they are crowded kind of in the row, between them this way, we should still have enough space to pick. And if we don't, we can just prune them back. I really didn't want to go any wider. I kind of went really close to the edge there, which wasn't the original intent. But then I thought, you know, we're not going to do anything with that little hillside there, so why not just, you know, go ahead and go real close to it. And then I'm going to get the weed whacker. It's at the other place, and then have my son weed whack all that down. And I don't know if I'm going to get cardboard that will stay on that hillside, but at least I will put mulch down and try to, if I have an area that constantly needs weed whacked, I try to remedy the area so it doesn't need weed whacked. So mulch, planting for something that grows on a hillside, anything like that. Like at the other place, we had honeysuckle on the hillside. It was just everywhere. It was really prolific. It was really nice. I ended up pulling it out because it got inundated with poison ivy. But now it's just, it's not really a problem area. I just let it go wild. There's some wildflowers there. So anyway, I'm almost done. This is the last blackberry that we'll plant. And then what I'm going to do now is just take this mixed dirt that I put in there, and then I'm just gonna, whoops, sorry about that, put it all around the plant. And then this will compact more. So what I do then is I'll take this clay. I've already taken out the sod right there. And that'll just go in that stack over there, or I'll just leave it there and let my husband pick it up with his tractor. Or maybe I'll put it in buckets. Who knows? I don't think so. I'm about done here for today. And then I'm just going to spread that around. And then I will just like pack it down a little bit. And then I've got a, I had some water here, but I used it all up. But you saw that that was already very well watered. So, and this is one thing that just irks me to almost to no end. I've never lived here, and years and years ago, I guess people used to just have garbage on site. There wasn't garbage collection always, and so people would just take their garbage and throw it. And this is plastic, so I'm not real sure how old it is, but I have dug up a pocket full of plastics just digging these holes where I needed them. It's pretty frustrating. I hate these microplastics, and I don't know. I think they're just everywhere. All right, so I'm done here, and then I'll show you whenever the rest is done. Alrighty, so I got a lot of cardboard laid down. I had to get delayed because I cleaned a stack of cardboard that was left right there. Normally when I get cardboard, I don't put it out in the yard or even bring it here until it's been cleaned. But my husband went to the pole store and grabbed a bunch and just threw it where I would need it without thinking about it not being clean. So I cleaned that, and actually, like these pots right here, just on a small stack of cardboard that's about a foot tall, I filled up 1.5 of those. So it's really important to clean the cardboard of all labels and tape, although it is a little easier to clean once you let it get wet. But even if you don't, I just use a box cutter. I cut around the label, and sometimes use the box cutter to start the tape. The tape peels off generally easily, and then I just peel the whole piece of, not the corrugation part of the cardboard, but just the cardboard off. So I ended up weeding around the raspberries. Since the cardboard was there, I figured why not, if I'm going to clean it, just put it here. And so I do need to bring some more cardboard here. And I did put the 2x4s down over the cardboard because it does blow away. I have some over there that blew, and I have to pick that up. But since it's raining, we're done for the day. So this is 2 days to plant 12 blackberries and get them mulched. It's going to be 3 now, but at least it'll get done.